I think the one word to describe the future of finance is disrupted.
Exciting.
Innovative.
In 2 words, the future of finance is personal and mobile. This year's Buttonwood gathering is all about financial technology and the extent to which the old financial industry, very staid, very traditional, is going to be disrupted by a wave of new startups and a wave of innovation.
Goldman Sachs estimates that even now there are $4.7 trillion worth of potential revenues in the fintech industry, financial technology, and I think that that's perhaps on the conservative side.
What we're seeing at the moment is lots of new startup companies that are thinking that the finance industry is absolutely ripe to be torn apart.
People ask, are banks going to be around in 10 years? Banks will be around in 2025, 2035, probably 2125.
It's very hard to imagine banks not providing things like current accounts or being the backbone of payment infrastructures. But I think what you will see is many more competitors arising and nibbling away at the bank's franchises.
It's as likely that a company like Facebook or a business we've never heard of is going to be doing much of what we today think of as financial services.
The rise of digital currencies like Bitcoin is going to keep continuing. It is also plausible to imagine that cash is a thing of the past.
That doesn't mean that money as a means of transfer, as a source of value, is going to disappear.
There's a big portion of the population that's not necessarily comfortable with new technology or that doesn't have access to the new technology, and if only for them, you should expect to see notes and coins around for a while.
The biggest risk from the financial industry going completely digital is cybersecurity.
Our own personal data starts to be abused by people who are trying to exploit our financial ignorance and illiteracy.
All banks are worried about this, and fintech innovators need to bear this in mind as well.
The best thing that could happen is it will ease the way for huge numbers of people that currently have no access to the financial system to have access to it.
In emerging markets, and even in poor countries, there are many more people with access to mobile phones than there are to bank accounts. So it makes a lot of sense to develop financial services that are delivered not through bank branches, but through mobile phones.
Developing world countries are going to use mobile money to leapfrog to a new model of financial services that is maybe more advanced in many ways than what we have in the developed world.
What you are going to see over the next 10 years are emerging market institutions like the Chinese banks, like Indian banks, becoming more interested in their geographical and product ambitions.
The goal of this year's Buttonwood gathering is to debate what's going on and to try and map out the next 5 to 10 years for finance. Who will win and who will lose in this huge technological disruption that's taking place.